Today, medieval manuscript books and early printed books are rare and valuable. We carefully look after them as important survivals from an earlier age. But in that earlier age, certain books and documents were not always so highly prized. Some pieces of older books or waste printers' pages can be found used as part of the bindings of other books, most often in paste-downs, which are exactly what they sound like. Pages at the front and back of the book which are pasted down onto the inside of the cover to hide the edges of the binding, and they assist in keeping the text block fixed to the cover. We know of at least 150 examples of paste-downs using pieces from other books or waste pages held among the volumes of the chained library. It was difficult to choose the examples for the exhibition. Here are just a few of my favourites. The paste-downs in this volume give a good demonstration of the way in which pages were printed to form books. It is pages from an unfolded breviary, including calendar tables of feast days. You can see that the bottom half of the page is printed one way and the top half of the page is upside down. Also that the page for May is next to the page for August, but when folded and cut correctly, the pages with the months of June and July would fall between them. There's also a delightful circular calculator depicting the sun and the moon. This paste-down is exactly contemporary with the book that it surrounds, both dating from 1667. The date on the page of the London Gazette which forms the paste-down is very evident. And this volume, which we just didn't have space to show, is from the Vicar's Choral Library, and it rather callously uses pages from the same author's earlier work as paste-downs in his new publication. The book is Edmund Bunny's text about teaching Jesus Christ, published in 1611, and it has 8 leaves of paste-downs from his work of the previous year. Of divorce for adultery and marrying again, that there is no sufficient warrant to do so. Bunny was well known as an itinerant preacher, and he was often travelling over many parts of England on horseback, attended by 2 servants. Parchment could be reused in another way, the words of the original text erased and then a new text written on the cleaned page. We call this a palimpsest. Modern techniques can sometimes allow us to read the original text from the ghosts or shadows of the original ink which remain. We have an example of this in the Hereford Gospels, our earliest volume, dating from about 800 AD. You can see on this image of folio 93, when light is transmitted through the page, the marks of the ruling for earlier text and traces of that earlier text is visible. But tantalisingly, no one has yet been able to read what lies beneath.